What's up, guys? It is a beautiful day here at Roots Refuge Farm. I saw a Fern standing right here by the fence and grabbed my camera to update you guys. Today is her due date, and she was artificially inseminated, so that is an accurate due date. Now, a few days ago, I've been watching her so closely, and her udder was still tiny, and I thought, man, I don't think they could have gotten the date wrong. Maybe she's going to be really late. And then yesterday it just filled out a lot. Before anybody freaks out over this green water, that's a clean trough. We just keep having to empty it out because it is pollen season here in South Carolina. Hey, little mama. Hey, little mama. What's up? Oh, there's the Delmer. Hey, cutie boy. I was hoping to get a good look at her by the fence because she's such a lover. When I go in with her, she just wants me to pet her. Obviously, that is still the case here. Y'all, there's literally a haze. I don't know if it's going to convey on the camera, but it looks just slightly smoky outside. It's not smoky, it's pollen. It's so much. This is the time of year to not be able to breathe here. Oh, you need some loving, huh? Okay. Look, she's got a lot of discharge. She's real springy, and her udder's filled out. Why? I'm not going to put her in a stall. Now, if you remember, whenever Helen was close to calving, we did put her in a stall, but it was also like 20-something degrees outside, so it was well below freezing. Now it's beautiful out, and she would probably be more comfortable out here in the field anyway, and if she has her calf out here, that's fine. It's not like muddy, it's not raining, there's no reason for her to not calve out here. So we're just keeping a close eye on her. It's easier for her to be out here too because I can just look out and see her. Most cows have their babies with, no assistance, and it's fine. Her being a first timer, this is her first calf. She's a first calf heifer. And she's so petite. She is 2 years old, so she's old enough to be having her first baby. She just is really kind of on the smaller side. I'll just like it more if I can be aware. And thankfully we're not going anywhere, so we'll be around and keep a close eye on her, and hopefully we'll catch it. And that way we'll be available if there are any issues. I don't expect that, but I just want to be aware. Here is Freya. She's starting to lose the darkness that she had like all above her face. She had that black coming in. Well, they're shedding right now. They're losing their winter coats, and they'll look really sleek here in a little while. And she's coming in looking way lighter than she did last year. Bear, go on. Quit fussing at these cows. See, look at all that. She wasn't that light. You're making her mad. Go on. Go on. But she's gotten so much bigger just since she calved, which has been going on 4 months ago. They grow a lot between their second and third year. And when we got Helen, she was very petite. She was kind of like bottom of the pecking order in her last herd. And here she's kind of the boss babe. And then Hope is out in the big pasture. And Hope was pretty mature when we got her. She was, I can't remember, she was like 3.5 or already 4 when we got her, whereas all the rest of our cows we got when they were a little younger, so they've developed more since being on our farm. So when we got Fern and Freya, we bought them as pregnant heifers, and the idea was with all the 4 dairy cows we could rotate it and we would always have 2, and we had thought we would get them both calved and then only keep one of them, because really you could have it rotated with 3 that you always had to in milk. But Jeremiah has fallen prey to calculus, and he is now saying he wants to keep both of them and is pondering keeping Fern's heifer too. We have Hallie. I don't know. He's the cowman. We went up to Justin and Rebecca's a couple weeks ago, and their hogs were like so healthy looking and big, and we we still have a handful of hogs out in the woods, and Maya was saying he would really like to have more extra milk to feed the hogs. And so I think he's wanting to keep a cow really to have excess to feed out hogs. But listen, I am never gonna complain about having more animals. I'm like, okay. I am okay with that. One of our big goals for our farm this year is to get the pastures situated so we can do rotational grazing with our Devons and with our Jerseys, and have, you know, they'll be in different places. But that's really my only hesitation with continuing to grow the herd, because I want us to be doing it the best way possible. But that's on the list, and so if he wants to keep all the cows, we'll keep all the cows. I'm in agreement with that. Here we are coming upon the garden. So here are some cabbages. You can start to see the shape coming in. These are core debut, which are like ox heart cabbage, so they're kind of cone shaped. These are some of my favorites. Oh, saboteur, that's not good. I'm gonna try to catch it. Those little white moth butterflies lay little cabbage looper eggs, which turn into little caterpillars that eat your stuff really fast. So I'm gonna have to keep an eye out for that. I had considered putting some netting down, but some of my cabbages are already starting to bolt, so I'm not gonna fool with it. Got some garlics. Some of these didn't make it through, like when they came back up after the freeze, they weren't quite right. And here we've started to put the gravel in. This is actually going to be flagstone, like this, all in here. And anyway, progress. So these are Brussels sprouts, which had gotten really knocked back by the hard freeze, and so they're starting to grow, and we got like little bitty clusters here, but as you can see here, they're going to seed, and at this point there's really nothing I can do about that. So these are probably going to get pulled out and given to the animals, and it's okay. We'll just get this bed ready to plant for warm weather. Guys, look at this. I've been so tickled by just the garden here recently. The Pavilion has really brought it together. This isn't done yet. It still doesn't have a roof. And I think Jeremiah was talking about doing something to finish it that he was going to do. And then once we get the flagstone down in here, he actually hired a couple friends of ours that do a really great job laying flagstone. I'll show some video when they're here. And we're going to get that put down. And then I can put my pots over here. I've been on the lookout for the perfect like table and chairs. I went to a lot of places. I showed you guys. I took the kids to treasure stores, and that's what I was mainly looking for. And I found one set I really liked, but I always say I'm cheap, and people are like, don't say that about yourself. Truly, I like going to treasure stores and finding cool little things, but I think garage sales are more my jive, because I don't want to pay as much as it costs to pay somebody else who found it at a garage sale. So I'm keeping an eye on Facebook Marketplace. I would really like to find like a cool vintage metal table with chairs, and I'm not even opposed to the chairs being mixed matched and just having like different ones. I started to look to see what it would be to buy them new, but one, patio furniture has just gotten so expensive, and two, I know it's not going to be as good a quality as if I find something older. Plus, I typically like things with a story. I like the whole eclectic thing, but yeah, it's no rush. I couldn't put it here anyway yet until the ground's done, but a nice table and chairs, and I can sit there and talk to you guys. All of the blooming things smell so nice, but I go to take a deep breath and I'm like, so polleny. Oh, hey, if you are watching this video on the day that it is released, Greenstock's today's last day of the leaf sale. And I'll put the link down there, and you can use my coupon code if you don't see this until the day after. I'm sorry, but it's so cool to me how things just start blooming overnight. It's wonderful. Come out and I see new things coming up in the perennial garden. Some things I think, I don't know, that might be a weed, and I just leave it to make sure, because you can't really tell. Those are hollyhocks right there. Haven't seen any growth coming back up on my hibiscus plants yet, but it's probably still too early for that because they like a lot of warmth. That's all bee balm. And my sedums are coming back up. It's looking really pretty out here. What's up, dog?
Howdy there.
It's warm in here.
Yeah, I'm about to
Do you
sweat.
want that? Do you want the fans on?
How do you turn them on?
I don't 100% know. Mine.
I tried it.
All right, so I just handed Will all these seeds inside. That's what I've been doing, is going through seeds. And he's getting started several different, we're doing like 3 trays of different basils for basil tea, which is thebomb.com. And what? Are you too young for that phrase?
No.
That was something we like legitimately
I don't
said.
think that was something my generation really said.
And I've got some more tomatoes and some different things. And I actually need to start separating my Wild Boar Farms tomatoes, so I'm just gonna set you guys up and you can watch us move quickly. Look at this. Everything is covered with a coat of pollen. Everything.
How do you even get started like lemon basil? Where do you
That with different mints as well.
Various basil.
No, those usually you can't buy in nurseries.
Usually I only see like Persian.
But I want to get some of those different kinds of mints, and they have to probably be grown in containers because there's such germs in the garden. But like a chocolate mint tea would be so nice.
I might still have some. I had some in my floor spray. Just kind of forgot it. One day when it starts getting warmer and we'll be able to buy stuff for sure, we should go to Gardener's Outpost.
Yeah, where's
Not
that?
just like,
I found more tags.
oh, there's a big one up here too.
Yeah.
It's crazy a little. That has the information to make like a little plant. Like, it's like a little machine.
Yeah.
If you had a machine that could make a plant,
Yeah.
it would be the coolest thing in the world.
That's why seeds are kind of the coolest thing in the world.
Seeds and firewood kindling always remind me, like, look how perfect the world already is. Every time I'm breaking apart, it's a firewood kindling. I'm like, this nature makes freaking fuel for your fire.
True. It's very good. Our peppers are steadily making their way up. Some haven't germinated yet, but it's still plenty of time. These are the dwarf tomatoes, which you can see some of them are starting to get their second leaves, so it'll be time to thin them out. I'm actually going to move these up so that I can work on this lower level. Oh, hey guys, look. Asparagus. Nice. Will had told me he saw that one and I came looking. There's probably more poking through under there. Actually killed my memory card. I stopped some things because I wanted to be able to follow up and show you guys. Will's moved on, but I wanted to show you kind of my process here with seed starting. You know, I've got marker out, I've got my little tags. And what I usually do is when I'm in my house going through my seeds, I will like write on a variety, start 8, start 6, start 6, start 6. So the idea in that for me is I am choosing how many plants I want to start when I'm rationally looking at all of my seeds rather than when I'm in the middle of starting the plants. I'm still starting way more than I need. I'll have excess to give away and some to sell, but I want to be, you know, somewhat reasonable in what I'm starting with my space. So then I write, like here I said start 6, so I wrote 6 tags while I'm writing. That way I get all my tags written. And then I can move on to the next part and not have to get the marker back out. I can just like get my hands dirty. And what I'll typically do is put these plant markers in each of the pots, and then I put the seeds in after the plant markers in. So that way I don't like get things mixed up or accidentally label things wrongly. Now with my tomatoes, a lot of times I will sow a lot in one, like here, and I'm gonna take each one of these individual plants, separate them, and put them in their own cup. You can do that with other things also. I've done it with peppers, I've done it with ground cherries, tomatillos, eggplants. I've done it with basils, some different herbs with flowers. Some things are a little fussier about their roots being disturbed. I would not probably do that with like cucumbers or squash or melons, but these nightshade plants seem to tolerate it pretty well. I'm probably not going to do that with these just because I actually have the space, and I am thickly sowing so many of my tomatoes that these peppers that I only want like 4 plants of each one, I'm just going to sow 4 cups. Sometimes, like if I'm sowing, let's say 4, 6, 8, something like that, I will only put 1 seed in like 3 or 4 of the cups, and then a couple of the cups I'll put 2 or 3 seeds. And then that way, if I need extras, if something doesn't germinate, I can move it out of there. So anyway, I'm gonna get to this and move fast, so. Alright, I finished what I started now, and I just wanted to give you guys that last little peek at it. So, I think that's going to be it for me. Thank you guys for hanging out with me today. I bless you. Until next time.